Hey everybody, Fudge Budger here. Today I bring you what I think is an interesting case of unreleased lost promotional material back from 2002. The Spider-Man movie DVD released on November 1st, 2002 to its own wave of an advertising blitz.
Buy it now for the holidays on DVD and video.
That DVD was packed with so much extra material, as often was the case in the early DVD era, where there was so many lively, fun menu designs and bonus features. For the Spider-Man movie's second disc, there was a lot of focus on diving into comic book history for general audiences to get a taste of. But also on its second disc was a really cool CD-ROM feature where you could insert the disc into your computer and then it would unlock a whole separate package of goodies to explore. I posted a video running through all these things featured on the CD-ROM, as well as a video showing off the super cool Spider-Man music visualizer program, which I think is one of the neatest little pieces of promotional tie-in material that I've ever seen. And I remember it fondly from back then. Spider-Man would swing the music that was in your music library. Such a cool little program. Our real focus comes into play with the Dot Comics section of the CD-ROM though. Dot Comics was Marvel's digital comics reader of the early 2000s and also available on their website at the time. The Dot Comics included are Spider-Man Blue #1, Black Cat and Spider-Man The Evil That Men Do #1, and Peter Parker Spider-Man #44. But there was also supposed to be an original all-new comic. Intrigued? Buckle in. I was doing a little browsing and stumbled upon an archive news article talking about the DVD release from June 3rd, 2002, a month after the US theatrical release of the movie. This article talks about the Dot Comics initiative plan to be included on the movie DVD, including an all-new original 10-page digital comic prequel to the then upcoming Spider-Man series on MTV. Not only that, but the comic was written by Brian Michael Bendis and drawn by Terry Dodson. That's some top-notch talent at the time. Bendis was riding high, writing Ultimate Spider-Man, and also working on developing the MTV series. Dodson was drawing the Spider-Man Black Cat comic, as well as being responsible for the art in the movie DVD's comic-inspired menus. Digging a little deeper, the original Newsarama article is also saved, which goes into further detail with some quotes from Bendis directly on this.
Half action and half drama. It bridges Peter and MJ's relationship a little from the movie to where we need them to be in the series. A nice little talk, and as for the action, there's some nice Spidey fun. Hopefully making the most out of Terry's amazing abilities and the medium to brainwash even more people to get into a comic book store. This is a short story that'll probably get into more hands than Ultimate Spider-Man #1 did, and it was an honor to be asked. Nice gig for a DVD freak like myself.
Pretty cool that there was intent to try and blur the lines between the movie and the cartoon a bit further like that. Even more so as the characters were to resemble Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst, which they notably don't try to do much in the show itself. There's a drawing of Dodson's Mary Jane, which is sadly not archived. They also mention the actors had to sign off on their likenesses. It's unknown how much of the story was drawn before the plug was pulled on this being included though, but given that it mentions Dodson had already drawn all the DVD menu art by early June, it isn't much of a stretch to guess the story was drawn as well with plenty of lead time to spare, especially since it's just a 10-page story. That doesn't take too long. Speaking of the art Terry Dodson did for the DVD menus, like to take a minute to highlight these pieces because they're really cool and I think they haven't really ever been shown off properly. They're sort of a very little known Easter egg buried in the DVD. When you go to the artist gallery on the second disc and you go to the ink piece by Dodson, you press up, his signature appears, and you can click it to find a whole separate gallery of cover recreations done in the movie style. It also gives us a proper glimpse into what the MTV Prequel comic style would have looked like. So let's run through these. The real swerve is why this ended up getting scrapped. This is purely my own speculation, but I feel like it's the likely story. You see, the MTV show was originally supposed to debut late 2002. The movie DVD was released November 1st, and the MTV show had already been delayed till summer of 2003 by then.
Yeah, but listen, tomorrow after school, I'll come over and we'll fix the costume. And hey, I am like the Betsy Ross of superheroes. Wait, was that Betsy Ross?
So I imagine they wanted this to tie in and be synced up so it was a smooth instant transition for fans to then immediately dive into the animated follow-up, but since there was a delay, that probably changed their plans. I'm not really sure why they didn't just end up releasing it online around when the show premiered in July of 2003, but funnily, it's not the only promotional tie-in for the cartoon that was planned and got canceled. There was a mobile game that was meant to release but was also scrapped, and I shared a video with footage of that in action a while back too. The MTV Spidey cartoon has always been a real curiosity for how uniquely edgy and Y2K it feels, and this certainly adds to the curiosity. Something that was meant to more concretely tie the movie and the show together. I know the show is considered a loose follow-up to the movie, but it also really just does its own thing tonally and more ended up like an alternate take on the movie-verse. Kind of funny too how history sort of repeated with the new Spider-Man cartoon, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, as far as being another cel-shaded CGI show with concrete ties to the movies. I really enjoyed the first season of the new Spider-Man show, and I really liked the MTV show too. Anyways, I had never actually heard about this lost project or anybody ever mentioned this before, so I figured I'd make a video trying to shed some light on it. Will any of the original Terry Dodson art or sketches for the story be found? Was the thing actually finished and just sitting around complete and unreleased? Hopefully someday we'll find out. Till then though, take care everybody. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to Lila Fur for their help doing research and additional work for this video, as well as lending their voice for that little Bendis moment.